Hi, my name is Hamida Shagel. Today I will be doing my leisure hobby project on the computer game Need for Speed. History and current issues. Put the activity into historical perspective. Why has it been predominantly for males? How frequently did females take part in computer games in the past? Computer and video games have been predominantly for males because the developers and creators were predominantly men, creating games to what they considered great, resulting and catering to males' interests and expectations. Another reason why gaming has been predominantly for males is because most of the characters are male-dominated characters with very limited female characters. When people play these games, they not only want to appeal to them, but they also want to relate to the characters they choose. Females don't want to play and have to choose from stereotypical female characters who are passive and weak, being rescued by a strong man, or provocative characters who are used as sex symbols. Females rather choose from a range of characters who they can relate to, but due to the limited female influence in the gaming development arena, the female characters were very limited to what men fantasized, which is why females did not take part in gaming as much as males in the past. Put the activity into current perspective. How frequently do females take part in computer games today? Are there any current or recent issues around this activity that are particularly interesting? Females have definitely increased taking part in video games. Because of the obvious trend of games being targeted to males, much research has been done to get the female interest in order to get them involved as well. Due to this increased attention given to female interest in games, the gender gap has dramatically closed, where females represent 42% of online computer gamers and 48% of females are the game purchasers. It's interesting how companies today are looking to hire and give scholarship to females now more than ever to increase the female gamer demographics, trying to get them into game development to get the female perspective in order to gain the female audience and business. What are your theories as to why there may or may not have been historical changes in participation? Online and video gaming business was very focused and targeted to males, with very little focus on what females may be interested in, which is why initially there were no changes in participation. This, however, changed with the extra research put into what females like pertaining to games and also with the rapid spread of the internet. With research as to what females look for in games and in gaining the female perspective by hiring more females, game developers and creators definitely attracted the female audience. The internet also has made a big difference because you can communicate and play with others, making gaming a social activity. Males have always had fun playing games regardless of the internet because their play is achievement-based, while females enjoy to play if it's social-based. Relationship to class material. How or why does this activity fit into traditional ideals of leisure for males? Due to our culture, gaming traditionally fits into the ideal leisure activity for males because of the combination of men needing leisure, not women, and gaming initially being targeted to men. Historically, when men worked, they needed leisure for downtime because they needed to work outside the house making money, whereas women did not need leisure time since they worked inside the house, supposedly not doing nearly as important or hard work like the men. Men needed leisure time and leisure activities such as gaming because it gets you away from life's hectic schedule. It's a good way for you to escape reality and relax. Because women did unpaid work at home, their work went unrecognized and unappreciated, adversely affecting their leisure, which is probably why females have the need to be productive even during their leisure time, doing activities such as knitting, where you get a piece of clothing, or baking, where you get food. However, because time has changed, so has leisure experience, which is why the gender gap is closing so much today. How does your experience with the cross-gendered activity relate to class materials covered? My experience in computer gaming relates to the class materials because once I played Need for Speed, I understood how sexism is incorporated in games. Immediately playing the game, I felt that I was lost in a man's world with the high-tech muscle cars, provocative women, and the fast, destructive races. Because the media portrays most gamers as males, people go along with it just to be socially accepted. Our society is afraid of being different or outcasts. Seems that our culture puts males on pedestals by catering to their wants to the point where women are degraded and used as sex symbols to satisfy the male audience. Why is one sex superior or inferior to the other? Why degrade females to sex objects just to keep the male players entertained? I feel that it all comes down to two things: our culture and media. Because our culture accepts this sort of sexism, the media advertises and promotes males' sexual hunger for business purposes to generate money. Why had you not participated in this activity before? What constraints might you have felt or had? I had not participated in the game Need for Speed or frankly any other computer or video game because gaming simply does not fascinate me enough for me to actually sit down and play. When playing Need for Speed, I felt structural constraints such as limited time, keeping me from enjoying the game. Because I work full-time, have a family, and go to school, I'm always racing against time, trying to fit as much as I can in my schedule, leaving no room for activities such as computer or video games. If and when I have extra time, I try to spend it with my family, my husband, and my daughter. Now that I'm pregnant, I try to squeeze in any extra time relaxing, since I get worn out so easily. Reflection on your personal learning. How did this activity challenge you? What were you feeling while you participated? The game I played challenged me the most the first few weeks when I initially started this assignment because it was very technologically advanced. I had no idea how to play or what to do. It was very confusing to figure out which car was better, how and where to find car parts to enhance your car, and how to enter and win races. Because it seemed so complicated to me and time was always limited, I was very frustrated in the learning process. My husband, of course, saw this frustration in me and explained that if I have this attitude every time I play, I'm really not going to learn much from this assignment and I'm not going to enjoy it. Which I agreed, because I was definitely not having fun, forcing myself to play and constantly watching the time so I don't lose any more time than I needed to. With the help of my husband and a few YouTube tutorials, I started to understand the game. Playing with some help and with a positive attitude, it's amazing how much faster I was learning. Not to mention, I was starting to actually enjoy the game. And here are some more pictures of me playing. What insights into leisure were gained for females and males? Insights into leisure gained for females and males by playing games are of many. After a few weeks of playing, I now understand that it is in fact relaxing, fun, and also a means of escaping and living in a fantasy life during the duration of your game time, which is why so many adults enjoy gaming. As well as it brings enjoyment, playing games also have positive effects on social and cognitive development. People who play action video games have better hand and eye coordination, ability to ignore distractions, more sensitive in their peripheral areas of their vision, and their ability to count objects faster than non-players. Would you participate in this activity again? I would probably not participate in this activity again because I felt I was being forced to play, and it took a lot of patience and self-control for me to actually calm myself to learn how to play the game successfully. Also, with my very busy schedule, I'd rather not spend the little extra time I have playing games. I'd rather spend it with my family or do other leisure activities I enjoy, such as swimming or camping. And that wraps up my presentation. Here, this is a list of my references. Thank you for your time.